Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to my and build guide for Persona 5 Royal. This is the third in a series of 8 guide videos I'm going to be making for Persona 5 Royal, where I'll be going over all party members' best equipment, Persona skill set, best way to use them, as well as discussing the best parties each party member fits into. Due to not wanting to be disappeared by the Atlas Secret Service, the footage you are seeing will be mostly from before the third semester added into Royal. However, I will be showing off the third Persona evolution for Anne and discussing the new skill that comes from that, some of the skills from the Jazz Club that are only found in the third semester, talking about some enemies that drop specific pieces of equipment that are only found in the final dungeon, and there will also be some third semester party spoilers shown, so viewer discretion is advised. I will be talking about some items obtained from DLC personas, however I will provide non-DLC alternatives where relevant. Also, I am assuming you have downloaded the Legacy DLC pack, because why would you not? So, without further ado, on to what you came to watch. So, equipment-wise, Arn's best melee weapon is the Dainaraka Whip, which is acquired by itemizing Blood Cross, the level 67 full persona during an all-out. It is the highest damage out of all of Arn's weapons, and has the additional effect of having a high chance of freezing the enemy. Kind of a weird additional effect considering Arn's kit is primarily fire-based, meaning she cannot technical off of this with her skills, but a status effect is a status effect, and freeze is pretty easy to technical off of with physical or gun moves anyways. The best range weapon is the Gungear, customized for maximum damage, which is acquired by itemizing Odin, the level 84 Emperor persona during an alarm. You do need to be max confidant rank with the Emperor in order to fuse Odin, so keep that in mind. As usual, it provides the highest attack value out of all of Arn's weapons, and has the additional effect of a medium chance of despair. Another weird choice of side effect here again, as Arn has no way to technical off of this, and her gun being AoE, meaning it's unlikely to proc on the enemy you want anyways. Regardless, Despair is a pretty decent status effect, and if you run Arn and Haru, which you mostly want to anyways, you can pretty easily technical. Now for armor, Arn has two viable options in my eyes. Arn can either run the Serious Armor EX, acquired from itemizing the DLC persona Messiah during an alarm, or the Lovely Witch's Robe, which is acquired by washing Sooty Dark Armor dropped by Skaha in the third semester dungeon. Serious Armor EX provides 6 more base defense points over the Lovely Witch's Robe, and has the additional effect of reducing all magical damage taken by the wearer by a higher amount, while Lovely Witch's Robe provides 10 more evasion points over the Serious Armor, and has the effect of increasing the wielder's magic state by 8. What this comparison ultimately comes down to is whether you want the more stable defense-orientated armor, or the unstable high damage output armor. For me, I find the Lovely Witch's Robe complements Arn's kit better by increasing her already high magical nuke potential to even greater levels. However, Arn's fragility is definitely something to keep in mind while using it, so I can see an argument for the Serious Armor EX being a bit better. Now for accessory, as is the running theme here, the best accessory is, of course, our good friend the Shiny Belt R, which is acquired from itemizing the DLC persona Izanagi no Okami during an alarm, providing a passive 7 SP generation per turn and increasing all stats by 3, both things your party members outside of Joker do not have easy access to. Good to note here as well that Arn, being a primarily magic damage dealer, makes even better use of this accessory than others, as she is going to be able to basically fire off her spells for free as she regenerates the SP she uses back every turn. Of course, if you do not have the DLC, the backup is the SP Adhesive 3, purchased from the Kemi Medical Clinic for 100,000 yen once you reach rank 5 in her Confidant, which provides the passive SP regeneration but lacks the stat boost. Other alternatives are the Crystal Skull R, which is acquired by itemizing the Crystal Skull Treasure persona during an alarm, which provides a +6 in all stats and increases evasion against all magical attacks except Almighty. The Team glasses and the C's armband from the Legacy DLC, which provide a 15% EXP boost and 15% money boost respectively. The ARM PC, which gives a +3 to all stats and a 20 SP boost. The Gauntlet, which increases evasion from crits and magical attacks. And finally the Kuzunoha tubes, which provides a mini Arms Master and Spellmaster effect, reducing HP and SP skill costs by 25%. All these besides the Crystal Skull are from the Legacy DLC pack and can be found in the cardboard box in Joker's room once you have downloaded it. Now, onto the Persona build. Ann is your go-to magical damage glass cannon nuke of the game, shown by her absurdly high, the highest in the game, magic stat, and her very low endurance and agility stat, both the second worst in the game. She also possessed the lowest strength stat in the game, and strangely the second highest luck stat at base. Her trait, Mastery of Magic, has a chance to decrease the SP cost of all magic skills. With this in mind, the skills you want on are Agidyne, Blazing Hell, Concentrate, Matarunda, Dikaja, Fire Amp, Fire Boost, and Evade Ice. To dive deeper into this, Agidyne and Blazing Hell are your magic nuke skills. Blazing Hell is used for the big damage, and Agidyne is used for if a knockdown is all that is really needed, or SP is low, as Blazing Hell's massive 54 SP cost is quite steep. Curiously, Blazing Hell is the only AoE severe damage magic skill that any party member learns, and one of 2 severe magic skills that any party member learns, the other being Makoto's Atomic Flare. Concentrate is used like charge to buff your damage so it hits even harder. Pretty self-explanatory. Fire Amp and Fire Boost similarly deal a big buff to damage, and Evade Ice is there to basically patch up Arn's weakness to ice. Matarunda is mostly just here as filler. Though decreasing an enemy's attack is pretty useful, it's not as useful as buffs are, and as Ann should mainly be used for her nuking potential. There aren't many scenarios where you want to use it over just killing an enemy, or charging to charge up and kill an enemy. Dikaja is in a similar spot, but marginally worse considering how easy it is to acquire in bulk the Dikaja item equivalent is in this game. Now, unfortunately, Ann, a lot of the better skills for her don't really come around until the 3rd semester, as the Jazz Club moves prior to this are either too niche or better put on other characters. However, if you really wanted to, you could replace either of the filler skills, Dikaja or Matarunda, for Heat Riser, which you get on 12.4, or Debilitate, which you get on 12.11 at the Jazz Club. However, I don't recommend it, as when we go into the 3rd semester, you will see that Ann's build has now filled out pretty nicely with some irreplaceable skills. In the 3rd semester, Ann's persona will evolve into its 3rd son, Celestine. Here, her trait will evolve into Pinnacle of Magic, making the SP reduction on magic skills be half. She will learn the ability High Energy, which is an AoE concentrate. Much like Ryuji's AoE charge, this has the same use of AoE buffing the party's damage, but this time for magic, and comes with the same high SP cost. However, this isn't as much of a problem with Ann considering her high base SP pool, meaning that this is likely to get a lot more use than Ryuji's AoE charge, especially considering that the parties that you want to form with Ann are usually going to lack access to concentrate. Additionally, there is a Jazz Club event on the 29th of January where she learns Spellmaster. This skill makes spamming her magic abilities just that much easier, and allows her to make much more liberal use out of her AoE concentrate, and ensuring that she will basically never run out of SP. Replace both filler skills, Matarunda and Dikaja, with these new skills. Everything else basically sounds the same. Also, her new design is pretty dope. party comps, Ann's magic nuking and AoE concentrate should signal that she wants to be placed with magic damage dealers like Makoto, Haru, Morgana, and strangely, Akechi. Ann, Makoto, Haru is your standard magic nuking team, each having rather high base magic stats, as well as good magic damage dealing skills. Additionally, as I mentioned in the equipment section, both of Ann's weapons, and as well as both of Haru's weapons, have high chances of inflicting status effects, and as Haru deals psychic damage, you can make some very tricky technical damage knockdown parties. Pairing her with Morgana is also an option, subbing out either Haru or Makoto for some more sustainability provided by Morgana to patch up Ann's fragility and buff Morgana's terrible damage. Subbing in Akechi is also an option, though perhaps not the strongest. His damage is still respectable, and his access to Almighty and Curse skills fills in a niche not filled by the other party members. Additionally, his access to Debilitate can supplement Ann's AoE Concentrate, increasing her damage even further. Ann is potentially the strongest party member, outside of Joker, in the game, damage-wise. Her nuke capabilities are out of the charts, and her support capabilities aren't even that bad to compensate, as AoE Concentrate is not something that is easily available. However, Ann runs into a problem when she is compared to what are generally the stronger parties in the game are, which are physical. Some of the game's best party members are primarily physical damage dealers such as Ryuji and Yusuke, and while she can still fit into those teams, her limited team support basically goes to waste, making her kind of a deadweight when you could just bring a party member who better slots in and synergizes. Additionally, the magic parties she does fit into aren't as strong overall as the physical ones, as they typically lack the team buff support that those have, or have it, but in a very limited fashion. This all being said, however, Ann is still one of the best party members in the game, and is never really going to let you down. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Going to try to get these out at a less snail's pace from here on, so hopefully the next up in line, Yusuke, will be out sooner rather than later. Peace.